Good morning, Bore da. So now I am officially lead candidate for Propel in the South Wales West region, but also constituency candidate for the Ogmore constituency. Now I am going to be working really hard across Ogmore, but that won't stop me continuing my campaign work locally in the Ynysoundra ward, where I represent local people as a Bridgend County Borough Councillor. So my message today is, if you live in Ynysoundra, please continue to correspond with me with your inquiries and casework, and I would only be too delighted to support you. Now I'm also going to be working really hard across South Wales West. It's a big region, but as lead candidate I will be across all areas. Now, most importantly, I've been working hard with our excellent NEAF candidate, James Marshall Henton. Now, over the last couple of months, James and I have been meeting residents on Zoom from the Ormes Road area of Skewen, who have been impacted by the tragic floods that occurred in Skewen at the start of the year. Now, these residents, what they've been doing is they've been compiling information and data into a report, and they've found that these tragic floods could have been avoided had their warnings been listened to. Now, fundamentally, what they believe is that the mine shaft was one of the main reasons for these horrific floods that occurred. However, there were several other mitigating factors, and had these factors been adhered to, then the floods may have been avoided. So some of these factors were tragically ignored by the local authority and several other stakeholders, and they include blocked drains on Drummer Road, illegal and unregistered septic tanks. Now what that means is that local residents got together and hired a private sector firm to do some CCTV analysis of the drainage system, and that company found that there were a number of illegal and unregistered septic tanks, and this produced overflowing of waste in people's gardens, which is quite horrific. Back in November 2020, sinkholes were reported on both the Ormes Road area and the Ellens Road area. The Ellens Road sinkhole was over 50 foot in area, yet despite photos and footage of these sinkholes, residents were once again ignored. January 2021, just days before the flood water was blowing through the mines onto Gosham Park, water was seen shooting out of the drains of Drummer Road. This is according to local residents, and I've seen that they've reported these incidents. So Propel, what we've tried to do, we've tried to get a meeting between Neath Talbot Council, Welsh Water and Natural Resources Wales to find a holistic solution to this problem and to ensure that it never happens again. Sadly, all of those organisations declined our invitation. So what we are calling for is for mine shafts to be checked periodically, and for all organisations to get together and to listen to local people and to tackle the problem of flooding holistically. The priority at the moment now has to be to support people directly impacted by this flooding, and that's got to include financial support. But also we've got to look to make sure that these floods never occur in the future. Local people are the experts in the communities in which they live. If they are listened to more effectively, then the tragic events can be avoided. Diolch yn fawr, unwaith eto. Thanks again for listening.